me show you what we got going on here, guys. This is a long time customer that I've had at the shop. He takes really good care of this truck. He's got an 07 F150. He has like I think near 250,000 miles on it. We're doing a motor on it, an engine. He did have an option. He lost one or two of the rocker arms. We didn't get into the damage to see how bad it was, but it had a really loud ticking. Tick, 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 tick. It started off kind of pretty slight, and we kind of told him what was going on, and he's kind of elected to monitor it, and it's gotten progressively worse, and it was pretty aggressive when we were looking at it. And I gave him an option. Look, we can go through here, all new timing chain components, all new lash adjusters, all new rocker arms. Most likely there's going to be one cam that's damaged. We can do all that. That's not a big deal. Or with the mileage on the truck, you can go with an engine. And knowing this customer, how picky he is, you got to know your customers. That's one thing you have to know, is who you're dealing with and what they want and what they expect. And I knew going in that the guy probably would want something new. That's kind of what his expectations are. He just wants everything just freshened up, perfect all the time. So it was a better option just to put a new motor in there from Ford, which is remanufactured. But he did get both options, and there was a pretty significant difference between the two. But I'm comfortable with the selection because I know what he wants. You got to know what the customer wants, and he's kind of a perfectionist, and that's perfect. That's what the guy is, and I understand it. It's kind of how I am. So, and while we're in here, we're doing a bunch of stuff. He wanted everything new. So everything I could get from Ford, I pretty much got. A couple things I'm waiting to get is the exhaust manifolds. They've been on back order. They should show up any day. And I'm missing the radiator, which I had to get from a different dealer. He wanted a new radiator, new brakes, new U-joints. The suspension had some play in the tie rods. We got new ball joints from Ford, tie rods from Ford, outer, inner. Sway bar links are discontinued, but I got TRW, which they are the original supplier. Fuel filter, belt, all the nuts for the suspension when you do it, the clamps for the boots, U-joints on over here, and then the knock sensors, crank sensor, and then there's a couple connectors that we were going to replace because their locking tabs broke. And the master cylinder is leaking in the back, so we have a master cylinder coming in from Ford. We're going to put new struts and shocks on it. Ford discontinued the quick strut for those, but I like KIB a little better anyways. We're going to put new shocks in the back. We're going to power wash everything for the guy too. Nick's going to look at the mounts, make sure the mounts are in good condition. He's got the engine pulled, Nick does. The gentleman has already had the transmission replaced at one point, but the pulleys are pretty new, so we don't have to worry about changing the pulleys out. We'll check them. But this is the type of customer, if you see anything that's not right, he wants it done while you're in there. There's no reason to skimp on it. He wants it done right the first time, and that's what we're going to do. So he's going to have pretty much a new truck, an 07. You know, yeah, he's got a hefty bill, but some guys love their truck and they understand what a new truck costs, and this is not near what a new truck goes for. So, and he wants to keep his truck, so that's what we're going to do. Here is the motor that Nick has pulled out of it, and we're fortunate because we have no rust here. We're in the South. Everything's really clean. I just like getting new manifolds because the condition of them, and sometimes they have cracks in them. But overall, like, this guy's maintained this. This water pump's been replaced. That pulley's been replaced. So is that. There's no noise, no play in these at all. Sound great, so we can reuse this stuff. Of course, a new engine comes with a new water pump. Ford, I tell you what, Ford of all the manufacturers does the best job on engines by far. We can crack it open. I'll go over what makes Ford different when it goes to how they do their engines. I'm looking for something to cut this with. And I forgot to mention a couple other things. This guy, I don't know, maybe 50,000 miles ago, maybe less, he wanted every hose replaced with Motorcraft or Ford. We did that already. And when he hit 200,000 miles, said put a fuel pump in it from Ford. So like I said, this is a very particular owner, which is great. We love those owners because we operate like that. But let's check out this engine. I'll tell you what I like about what Ford does here. We'll crack it open together. I'll go over why I have some of those parts that I do have. There's a reason for it. So, first of all, I've put in a lot of these motors in over the years. A lot. I mean, 50 plus easily. So I have never had one come back for an engine problem. Not one. Never. So that's one reason why I love it. So I'll show you what I like about this so much. Is it comes a long block with all the covers on it: oil pan, valve cover, new VVT solenoids, new water pump, spark plugs in there, oil filter, oil in it already. And they give you a new coolant temp sensor, new thermostat, new cam sensors, exhaust manifold bolts, studs, and gaskets. They give you intake manifold gaskets. What's weird, and I won't grab it, I'm gonna show you what they do not include. It's kind of odd, but I'll show you. They give you a new oil pressure sensor also. What they don't give you is a crank sensor, which I always do. NOx sensors, which I always do. You're like, why NOx sensors? Well, I've had one engine we did, and we drove it, and it had NOx sensor codes, so I had to pull the intake off. So for the price of these, I'm doing them. And the crossover gaskets on the intake, they don't come with this. Very odd. And a dipstick tube. Most of the time you take these out, they break right here. They've never been out, and you pull, and they snap. So that would complete this job. This is what Ford should have done. I mean, they do a great job, but so you don't need nothing. That's the way to do it. That's what I got. And I do exhaust manifolds, but they're not here. They're coming because they're on back order, but I did locate a couple. That would be, you're talking about everything. I mean, that's it. You don't need nothing else. But man, you get engines from GM and especially Chrysler. Gee, give me Christmas. You're missing gaskets, a lot of gaskets. Ford's just missing 2 really. And it's fully assembled. So nice quality, good job Ford. Make it easy on your techs, that's for sure. But yeah, Nick's gonna be putting this together. And we have this Jeep over here. It's an 18. We have it apart right now. Nick's working on it too. It's a 3.6. It's the, I think it's a Gen 2, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Gen 3, I don't keep up with it honestly enough as I should, but it's a new generation where it's not supposed to have the rocker arm damage, but they do. We've done some already. This one does not. This one has a head issue. It's consuming coolant. So we do have heads coming. They got way hot, I mean, into the cylinder and locked up number 5, I think it was. So when we take the heads off, we're gonna check the bearings and rods, make sure we don't have any issues with that. But from what we did a measurement check, it was fine. But he'll do that another day, but that's a project he's working on right now too. And this is Friday. We're getting everything out of here like we're supposed to. This is our light day. And we about got it cleared out, which is good. Kevin did a bunch of work on this. Sounds a lot better. So Kevin did a complete timing job. It's an 18 Ecoboost, Generation 2. It had the phaser knock, the camshaft really bad, and go grab that part. When he took off the camshaft phaser, the spring fell off. So if you know about these engines, that spring falls off, it's usually an engine. It breaks that chain, it gets caught in that gear, causes a lot of problems. Usually it's an engine at that point. But yeah, when we do this, we do everything right. We check all the hoses. The hoses like the collar split on them. We do all the hoses in there. Spark plugs, thermostat, water pump, all the gaskets, valve covers, every timing component, new bolts for the sprockets, new bolt for the crankshaft. I'll show you this. So this is missing here, it fell off. So he was literally a mile away from this thing locking up, having problems. New belts, we do it. I mean, it's a complete, if I had the parts list, I'd show you. But he's already done with this thing. Sounds great. We do them all the time. So if you have a Ecoboost, you need it worked on, I'm telling you, if you're by our area, we're in Oklahoma, we do a lot of them and we do it right. I tell you that right now. A lot of shops do not do them right. A lot of people go up the Ford Tech Make You Loco. Great shop. If you're by him, take it to him. But if you're close to us, we do the same kind of work he does, I promise you. We're very particular, very picky, OCD on our stuff. He got done power washing, it was done. It is clean. Everything's torqued to spec, all Ford parts, and we know what the common problems is. So while you're doing it, we do all the issues that go wrong with it. So it's done once, you don't come back. And we've done a lot of them. So my guys are extremely familiar with that engine. But if you're in the area, in the South, I'm telling you, there is other people out there who can do it right. And we're one of them, I promise you that. Well, he's doing Bradley's doing a starter on this. What is this, a 15, 16? What is this? 15 CRV Honda. The starter went out. It's a Mitsubishi starter, I believe, on here on these Hondas, not a Denso. It's Mitsubishi. We went back with a Honda brand new starter. If I can get a new unit, I don't care what they go for. I'm gonna try to sell that to the customer because that's the right way to handle it, because reman is such a flaky deal because they usually fail, and I hate knowing I'm gonna put a product on here and they're gonna fail. Your longevity to repair is, you're better off using a new product from the manufacturer. But sometimes it's not a budget. If that's the case, I get it. I go back with a remanufactured Denso or a Honda remanufactured unit. Those would be the only two I'd go with. I wouldn't even try the parts stores. But this customer was smart, and he's like, yeah, I understand, let's go with the OE unit, factory new one, because I don't want to deal with this no more. And no one wants to be stranded. That's usually what happens when people try to save money. Is it sounds great at the beginning because you're saving money, but when the problem reoccurs, they regret it. Man, I can go back, I do this. Well, you got to present to the customer, let them know that you're making the wrong decision if you're going with a cheap, lower quality part. Educate them. You want to go with a new component if you can, if it's in the budget. If not, go with the OEM supplier of a reman. But still, then you're going to have problems. It's hit and miss on those too. So to eliminate it, get something new. That's the best thing. Educate your customers, let them know what to expect. Find out what their expectations are, because they tell you, hey, I want it fixed and done with. Well, here's what's going to take care of it. If you don't present it to them, say, hey, you want this repair done and fixed, right? You don't have to worry about it for years at a time. Yes, I don't. They're going to say, fix it. But if you tell them, hey, I can put on a reman, I don't know if it's going to take care of it for 6 months, 8 months. It's probably going to have a problem again. Is that okay? Most of the time they're going to say no. Why would I say okay? You got to tell them the truth, because that's really what's going to happen with the reman. It's going to fail at some point, especially from the parts store. It's going to happen really quickly. But you tell them you want it done, fixed for long term, right? Yep. Well, here's what it's going to cost. Sounds good, fix it. That's usually what happens. Because a lot of people don't know. The customer does not know the difference, I'm telling you. You're the professional, you know the difference. You have to present that to them that way. That's why they take it to you, for the best advice. If you think you know their answer, because you think they want cheap parts, you probably get the wrong customer if that's the case. So find customers that want it done right, will spend the money to do it right. That's your customer base. If your customer is always like, that's too much, they're the wrong customers. You probably should fire them, get a new set of customers that want stuff done right, because everybody should want it fixed right. Very few people should say, I want it shortcutted or I want it rigged. That's the wrong customer base, I promise you. You don't want to deal with that. We have some other cars going on we got to push in, but not much going on today. It's about 4 o'clock on a Friday, so we're wrapping things up. You should show them Nick's bad boy Mustang out there. He's got a Fox body, it's sweet. You want to show him your bad boy? Yeah, go show him it. It's a bad boy. Riley, he's always got a CRV. I kid you not. Every CRV comes over here. I think Bradley has it. Yeah, I've done so. I stick Kevin with every Prius because he owns a Prius. His wife does. So everyone that comes in every hybrid, I give to Kevin. His first day here, he pulled a hybrid transmission. No lie. From that day forward, he gets every hybrid and he gets every Prius. I don't know if he likes them or not, but he doesn't say nothing.
He doesn't complain, so he must.
He doesn't complain. Kevin never complains, so. I have very good employees. They do a very good job for me. I'm thankful for them. Trust me, they're great guys. If I couldn't ask for a better group. So, check out this bad boy.
It's my 1992 Mustang Fox body. It's got a 331 stroker in it. and it's a 5-speed, but it's if you want to look inside, it's pretty bare bones, pretty minimal. But I do plan on, you know, I really just want to make it a better version of what it already is. Just kind of keep it ratty and, you know, hooning around in it is really what I want to do. So full carbon fiber hood, nice little cowl on it. This is its pretty side. This side it's some weather stripping missing and stuff, so don't go on that side. But it ain't too crazy, you know. It gets up and goes and does what I want it to do, so couldn't ask for anything else. But I also have an 02 Dodge Dakota that I Hemi swapped, and that'll probably be the thing that gets, you know, boosted. So I'll probably just keep this all motor, because this is, you know, how I got it. It's probably how it's going to stay. So, but I mean, other than that, you know, got some nice parts on it, but enjoyed driving it. So I think third day I've gotten to drive it, you know. So second day with the new tires, and those are great. So, but that's all she is, you know, just a little shell with a 331 stroker in it. I mean, pretty much.
All right, so I agree with Ford Tech Make You Loco says it's a $6,000 tune-up. He's not wrong, because it is. So this whole job out the door, it's like $6,600 and some change. So it's not a cheap job. So I can kind of go over what we do here. So both valve covers replaced. All the timing components. So you have all the tensioner, the guides, tensioners, guides, camshaft sprockets, the bolts for them, the VVT solenoids, chains. So that's your timing. And there's one thing I do here is the oil pressure regulator valve. I've seen these fail multiple times, so we're in there, we change it out. So I add that part of the job. Crankshaft bolt, spark plugs, ignition coil boots. I also do this because I've had a couple come here with internal leaks. You can see why. Take a look at that. If you're not doing this, I'm telling you, if you ignore it, you will have a coolant leak before you're 200,000 miles on these trucks. I've done 2 of them so far, so I now incorporate it in the job. So what you'll notice is, like the 3.5 water pumps on the front wheel drive cars, the Fords, they'll leak coolant into the crankcase. This will do the exact same if you ignore it. So I've fixed a couple that way, higher mileage ones. So I replace it. It's like 30-something bucks, that part is. It's very cheap, and you're right there. Here's some of the seals. He threw most of them away, tossed them. It's a crank seal, and you have a timing cover seal, a crankshaft seal, do a thermostat, do the water pump. And the reason why we do these hoses, I'll show you. See this collar here? They crack and they split. And if you ignore them, they'll leak on you. See how they're all splitting? So there's 4 hoses, 5 hoses that I do. These go to the heater core, and the rest of these, goes to the expansion tank, and these go to the oil cooler. It cools the oil cooler off. That is your $6,000 tune-up that made famous from Ford Tech Make You Loco. Fabulous YouTube channel. Does a lot of videos of great knowledge. Keep it up, does a great job. There is other shops that do the same kind of work, and we're one of them. And hopefully there's a lot of others out there, because the better the shops, the better for everybody. I can tell you that right now. If you care about what you do, it's a great shop, I promise you, because you want to do the best you can. You constantly want to improve on it. So there's things I've done in the past where I now do things different, because you learn and live and you get better. So let's take a look at Nicky. I'll let you watch him tear this bad boy down.
Say what it be, I know the king, follow his lead, repeat after me. I know they lurking, this serpent is circling, but I never worry, cause he got the keys, he let it bleed. Never put me on the freeze, just look at how he spit it to me. It'll be out of right after I seek. You can't make the promise unless you the king. Jay with a baby, I am what he made me. No, you cannot shame me, so it's for the birds. Buy for a price, you ain't know what it's worth. He not letting go like it's grandmama purse. Rolling with heavy, he feeling kinda discouraged, cause he feeling down in the dirt. I told him heavy, you only need faith, cause yes, you already did all the work. Life or death, this life is best. I'd rather see the vision complete instead of the speed to find regret. You gotta breathe so you can be free, so you never need the ice and checks. This be my plea, I lost my debt. I gotta cheese, I found my flex. I gotta be, I gotta breathe, I gotta breathe. Keep moving. My drive, keep it moving, hit the gas, on to the next, play no dwelling in the past, It's unusual how pain can make you glad, pain can make you, pain can make you breathe. We on the way, talk about legacy, legends right next to me. Don't need it, check out the AG and Addy. Come with the beef and we serving the patties. Check out the verbs if it's getting chatty. You gotta move, but ain't gotta prove that you out in the front. You do what you do when you ain't gotta stunt, cause humble is up and the proud gotta punt. 4th and 10, if you wanna win, best put me in. I got the shooters that's ready to spin. They come with the king and he know how to win. He come to your team and he do it again. Rain to sleep, when the sun is at its peak. Gotta keep moving my feet until my journey is complete. Completion.